Globular Cluster sent me their new CMA1 comfort mod for Vision Pro. It's their first gen. It allows for a much more comfortable use of the Vision Pro for long periods. All right, so we got everything set up here, and I'm going to see how easy this is to put on. First off, let me show you, we've got, again, the back pad, forehead pad, and then you got a few different things that you can kind of swap out. Here, you've got kind of a Velcro attachment, Velcro right back on. We'll play around with that later, but for now, we want this to be this way, attaching on both ends like this. Let's see how easy this is. Oh man, that snaps right on. Super easy. Bam, that's it. Now, we can use this without the light seal also. So this comes out. I'm going to try it with the light seal on to start. And then we have a little Velcro adjustment here as well, which I believe will adjust when it's actually on my head and see how that looks. And then, of course, again, you got this boa here. So I'll start with this out, put it on, and tighten that back up. We'll try this out, see which one's more comfortable, and let's get another view of this on my head. So it definitely feels like immediately the back part here is kind of too far up on my head. So let me see if I can adjust that, because right now I barely feel the light shield touching against my face, which actually is comfortable, but I think that also would mean that the display is a little bit further from my eyes. So let me just play around with this and see. I think actually here as well, I'll kind of let this strap become a little more loose. Ah, there we go. Okay. So loosen that strap a little bit. Tighten that up on the forehead, and I'm actually right now getting the warning that I'm too far from the displays. Normally, the way I have it set up, I typically get more of a warning that I'm too close to the displays, but cancel that out, and we'll kind of keep playing around with this. It just takes a bit of time to get this figured out for that first wear. Adjusting the strap, getting that right. Immediately, I feel like so much of pressure has been reduced from definitely the cheeks. I mean, you can kind of see there's a little space almost with the cheeks, and it's more on my forehead. I am feeling a little bit more pressure up here on the forehead, because this is how this device is really maintaining that pressure and balance. What I'm going to want to do here is try this without the light seal. That's all we got to do. Take this off, put it right back on, and let's see what we got. This is my first time using Vision Pro without a light seal. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know I prefer no light seal on the Quest. And this is looking pretty great. I think this strap here is kind of almost distracting me. If I just leave that completely unvelcroed and bring this way down, now we have this floating in front of me. That actually feels super comfortable. Without the light seal also, I think it's great for AR applications. There's just a tiny little black section here where I can see in the periphery the edge of the goggles, but it feels much more AR as I look and kind of see my real hand, now my virtual hand or pass-through hand. So that's actually really nice for AR applications. You know, it is a heavy device though. I can definitely feel some weight on the forehead. So compared to that solo strap, which is just really fabric, I mean, this is definitely weight on your head. But the way that this weight is being distributed more on the forehead actually makes it more comfortable. I'm going to come back to you after a bit. I'm going to test out these different forehead pads and then back pads as well. I like the idea of this kind of hefty one here because it feels still a little bit too front heavy. It's fine to have more weight on your head as long as it's well balanced. So given the balance is more this way, I'm going to see how it feels putting this on. So I'm just going to take off this pad. And it's just Velcro. I'm being a little careful with it because it's my first time. I don't really know what to expect. So now you can see with this pad off, and then you got this strap goes through this little back part here. And then we'll put this one on. And to give you a sense, I mean, this thing is a lot heavier. So this pad we were just using, 13.2 grams versus 200 grams. So yeah, it's a lot heavier. Let's see how this acts as a counterbalance. All we got to do, put this on, and that's it. I mean, it's stuck on there, so very easy. I'll slide this back through. And then let's put it back on. This feels very far from my face now. Even the eye scanning, the iris scanner ID is not able to work. Let me see if I can make this a little closer. You can kind of see this part adjusts up and down. There is a limit though for how close you can have it to your eyes. Now, immediately, I will say I do like the extra weight on the back of my head. It counterbalances the forehead weight much better. It feels comfortable, very clear to see everything. When there is no light seal, I will mention, at least in the lighting environment I'm in right now, I do see a little bit of kind of reflections within the lenses as I turn away from this light source, this natural light source, the window here. It goes away a little bit, but yeah, there's definitely a bit of reflection kind of hitting the lenses here. If that's something that bothers you, something to keep in mind. I want to take this off and see if there's any better way I can kind of adjust this. You know, I do see this connection here, this connection point is a little bit back. I wonder if I just slide this forward a bit. And I'm doing the same on the other side. Now it's really up against that edge. And that extra half inch actually made the iris scanner work this time. I have the prescription lenses. I can feel them almost like against my eyelashes. So that's much closer now. That's maybe even too close. So that's one method you can use to adjust the spacing is, I mean, pulling kind of aggressively even when it's on just a little bit on each side. And there we go. That kind of makes it a little better. I'm going to test this out for really a couple hours, like watch a movie or something, get back to you with some honest feedback in terms of how this feels. I think initially, I will say that I'm probably not going to prefer this while using the light seal, but for a non-light seal solution, I'm pretty excited about this, even out the gate for 5 minutes testing this out. See you in a minute. Okay, I've been trying this for a while now, and I gotta say, it feels pretty comfortable. You'll notice I've got the light seal on this still, and after fiddling around with a lot of different pads and adjustments, I think I actually do like the light seal paired with all of this more. As I think about it more, although this attachment adds a lot of weight to the headset, it's all about how that weight is kind of pressing on different parts of your head, how it's dispersed across your head. So even though there's more weight, there is more area of dispersal. So if you think of weight divided by surface area of of points of contact on your head, then overall, with so much more points of contact with this whole back part here, the forehead, the light seal, it all kind of dissipates evenly throughout and it makes it a much more comfortable solution. So overall, super happy with this. This is going to be my daily driver moving forward. You'll notice also using kind of the Tempur-Pedic back cushion here, and then this softer material for the forehead cushion. So looking across all of these, starting with the back cushions, I'd originally thought this heavier one was going to be more comfortable, but actually it was too heavy. I think the lighter material actually won out versus this one. And then this one was a little bit too slippery on the back of my head. And overall, that Tempur-Pedic kind of softer material won out for the back. Now, I don't like the Tempur-Pedic material for the front forehead part. It feels a little bit too thick. This one is a bit thicker and more of a plasticky feeling. I wanted a thinner forehead mount so the screen could be closer to me. So what won out was the other one, which is just a softer material and you can press in a little bit harder and get that screen closer to your face. A couple of things that bother me when I'm using it without the light shield. Sometimes this kind of will rest against my nose, and it was hard to find a good kind of middle ground where it would just float right in front of my eyes without any contact. If it just held up like this a little bit better, then that would be perfect. But the other issue is that this is a kind of loose connection and it seems to not want to be staying where I keep it. So it just stays down like this. So I decided sticking with the light shield. This allows for a much more comfortable solution, kind of evens out that weight distribution across my head. So big fan. I'm going to keep using this, and let me know if you guys have questions in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.